ahead and put that on.
Okay, this is Dudley McDowell, Bryan County Farm Bureau member and Fair Board member. We are live at the 2023 Lamb and Sheep and Goat Show. They're just passing out the Rate of Gain Champion Awards. It was won by Aubrey Dodge, and second and third went to Will Stout. We placed our lambs, these three all gained a pound or more a day, which is unusual for a lot of county fairs around. Somewhere, get 6, 7 tenths is a really good lamb. So we are proud of. We have some awards now, or prizes are given out by the Hagues Sheep Show people to the exhibitors for a free gift. So we're starting with the seniors, working down through the high school and down through fourth graders. So everybody's going to get a prize. I think these are our seventh graders. We have 4 seniors graduating this year, but there's quite a few kids with bottle lambs in the barn, so we hopefully will have some replacements next year to keep our show going. Okay.
Alright, so this year we're donating buckets. It's next month we split them with some sheep show goodies. And we did a number raffle and Abby Stout is the winner of this bucket.
And we gave a door prize to Abby Stout, graduating senior from south of Bryan. So I think we're ready to start our show. We're going to start with the 6 advanced lamb feeder pens that we have this year, and we'll get them in the ring and talk about them and let the judge. All he does is price them. This particular project we started about 25 years ago or more, I guess, 30 years ago maybe. It's 5 lambs that they get, either raise them or buy them, and we weigh them in early May, and then they feed them all summer and send me the feed sheets every 2 weeks, and so we price the corn uniform price if they feed that way, and then I evaluate. It's totally a point system. I evaluate the record keeping, and then the end after we weighed them yesterday, and then we get a price today from our judge, and then we will put the points together and determine the winner and the second place. So this first pen is Damian Dodge. He's a 10th grader from HMS. His lamb's beginning weight was 64.6 pounds average. Inning was 131.4 on the average. So they gained 8.856 pounds a day. And they're good range. All the lambs weigh from 126 to 139, which is a real good range.
6 of these to go through. I'm going to talk to the individuals just a little bit and get to know the project a little bit. And my job is just to put a price on them, like if I were a land buyer. Land market's been pretty strong here for the last month. It's been steadily climbing up. The outlook wasn't good at the beginning of the summer, but it's looking like we might make a little money this year now. So we're looking at probably $1.08 to $2.10 for fat lands. Let's just check a few posts out. There's some come up in the 220s and 230s. Even look like probably was pretty scarce. Probably not a whole lot of bringing that money, but looked like the $1.80, $90, $2.10 was pretty common. So it's looking good for the sheep feeders. This market, if you guys feed your land ban project, is kind of neat. This is the only county that I've judged that has even had any. We tried it in Sioux County for a few years, and we had one or two, and I think we even took it out of the fair book because we haven't had any for 4 or 5 years. So it's good. I think it's a good project for somebody who just wants to help the families that are most interested in profit, which that's the idea. You have show lamps. It's fun for competition, but in the real world, we got to make $1. So I think that's what this formula kind of goes off of, its profitability. So I'm going to go ahead and put a price on these lambs as if I was a land buyer coming in from a bag, and Dudley's going to put that in the formula, and he'll figure out the winners. So all I'm going to do is just talk to the kids. But we got a nice uniform set of lambs here. I think they're going to cut out real nice. They're adequately conditioned. They're pretty uniform in size. They got enough muscle in them. I think they're going to be a nice set of lambs for you.
These lambs are coming in alphabetically by last name and then first name. So this is Annika Nigas from Polina. She's a 7th grader from South O'Brien. Okay, these lambs beginning average weight in May was 77.2, and now it's also 131.4. Average daily gain of nearly 0.7 of a pound a day, and the range of weight is 127 to 142. I'm trying not to talk over the judge or the announcer when they do things like that, so if I don't talk, that's why. Anyway, this project is based on rate of gain points, profitability points, economy of gain, and record keeping. So we average, 4 or 5 pens of these a year, and it's been a popular project for kids that really don't want to spend the high big bucks to get lambs, or spend the time to have to break them to lead. You just feed them and get them shorn and bring them to the fair. And last year, if anybody remembers, we had a disastrous drop in the lamb market in June, and by the time the fair rolls around, it was just economic disaster for anybody raising sheep. But this year, like he said, it's better price.
Okay, another nice uniform set of lambs here, adequate condition, all adequately structurally correct. We got one lamb that's maybe just a little smaller than the rest, but I think they're nice set of sheep.
Okay, the next pan in is Austin Negus, Honica's brother. He's a ninth grader at South O'Brien. And unfortunately, back in early June, they went out and one lamb was dead. Austin's, he only has 4 lambs left after I said this one died. The beginning weight was 81.6. They're a little bigger, 140.5 right now. But if you know anything about raising sheep, you lose 20% inventory all of a sudden. You really hurt his average day to gain over the whole project. These lambs weigh 125 to 160, and if you see the one with a spot on his back, the flies attacked it. But this lamb also broke his leg earlier this summer, so it really slowed him up in rate of gain and in overall size. But it's a nice group of lambs. This is Brendan Negus. This is his first year in the project. He's the brother of the two just ahead of him. These lambs average 74.4 pounds. They average 126.4 with a range of 115 to 142. And they had average daily gain of 0.667, 2/3 of a pound a day. Nice set of lambs. In the show ring right now is Benson Rohr, South O'Brien. He's a 10th grader. These lambs, unfortunately, started out a little short, going 53.8 pounds. And so it's really hard for them to get to market weight in 78 days. They do weigh about 100 pounds. They had pretty good rate of gain, 0.58, but when the lambs are smaller, they don't grow as well, so that will affect them down the road. And these are white-faced lambs. That's usually a little slower growing too on the average. But Their average weight is 94 to 106, so it's a pretty uniform group of lambs.
A little different deal here. We got some Polly Bay cross. Young man wasn't exactly sure what they were for grain. Looks like Polly Bay, maybe just a little texel or something in there. These are kind of sheep that I think the back would like. They're about the right size. This year it seems like they were running that a little bit lighter lamb that's finished. I'm putting these at probably 115, 120. Plenty of condition on them. Nice uniform set of lambs.
To really market lambs, you have to be 115 to 120 pounds or heavier, up to probably 150. So these lambs will have to go back home and be fed for another 4 to 6 weeks probably till they get up to market weight. Coming in the pen right now is Morgan Roar, Benson's sister. Morgan's a fifth grader at South O'Brien. Her lambs only started at 43.2 pounds. They're now at 82.4 pounds. That's right at half a pound a day. But like I say, the range is 78 to 87, so they're a little smaller for what we need for a market lamb show. We have a live auction on Thursday morning, and we have a buyer that'll take the lambs. So, you got to suit their style, and it's a market lamb show and a market lamb auction. So this is Morgan's first year in the project, so we hope she'll come back. We don't have any graduating seniors having a pen of lambs, so maybe we'll have a good show next year too.
Interesting little pen here. Kind of trying to figure out what them black with the white faces are. I don't think they're hair sheep. Looks like they're maybe like an African or Columbia cross with Polly Bay. I'm guessing. Hair sheep. Hair sheep are pretty popular right now. They don't bring quite as much to the market. Buyers don't really like them as much as traditional wool sheep. Got a nice uniform set of sheep here. Not quite market ready. I'd maybe call it more of a feeder lamb. I guess it's probably not much over 100 pounds. That lamb market has got me confused. It seems like they're buying a lot of those 100-pounders and sending them to the market. So it's kind of different than what it used to be. But I went ahead and put a price on them. Really nice set of lambs here.
Next thing up on our agenda is showmanship. We usually do it at the end, but this year our county is starting an overall showmanship where we get the champions and reserve show people of the beef, hogs, sheep, dairy, horses, and goats. And we'll have an overall contest on Wednesday afternoon after the hog show is done before the judging contest. So everybody thought it'd be better if the kids and the lambs were fresh and the judge hadn't any preconceived ideas about everybody. So we have we have 4 exhibitors, and they happen to all be seniors. You have to have an individual lamb to be in this contest. The people that have advanced lamb feeder pins, which we just saw, if that's the only project they have, they're not in the overall showmanship contest. But so the judge now, not judging the animal, but he's hopefully judging how the lamb looks and how the individual handles his lamb. And we place 1, 2, and 3, of course, with 4 in the class. If you don't get first, second, or third, I guess you assume you're fourth. So now they're walking them to see how they handle. You want to set a lamb up so all 4 legs are on the corners of the body. You can kind of watch people as some of them are better trained than others, but you can kind of reach around and set their legs. Well, I guess what we have here is 3 seniors and a sophomore. But in the senior level is 10th graders, 11th graders, and 12th graders. See, the judge is asking a few questions about who knows what kind of test. This is Bryce Dodge, the senior from Hartley Melvin Sanborn. The next exhibitor is Morgan Groders from Hartley Melvin Sanborn. She's graduated also. Okay, leading her lamb now is Peyton Decker from Sheldon. And the last exhibitor is Courtney Decker from Sheldon. She just graduated from high school this spring. Thank you.
Senior showmanship is usually my favorite part of the day. I do kind of like doing showmanship at the end, because I get to see these kids show all day, and not just seeing them for the first time in showmanship. We got 4 excellent showmen out here. Any one of them, I think could do a good job of getting the line to start. I do ask a few questions in showmanship always. It's not a quiz bowl. I don't really care whether you get your answers right. I just want to interact with the exhibitors. I want to see their knowledge on project. Just to have the interaction, I think is good for the kids. I asked them what the lamb market was, or what the fat lamb market is. And if you were listening earlier, I said it. It's about $1.80 to $1.20. I'm sure most of these kids were back in the barn on that. Then I asked what the gestation length of the ewe is, and we're looking at 145, 147 days, 5 days short of 5 months. A few things that I'm looking for in a showman. I want you to get around the ring smoothly and efficiently. I want that lamb to lead and look natural floating around the ring. I want you to get the legs set in an efficient manner. I don't want you to be jerky. I want you to be smooth. One thing that I prefer is when you're setting the lamb up, if you have to set legs, preferably we'd have these legs trained so they kind of walk where they need to be. But if you got to reach back to set a leg, try to set the legs as close to the judge first. If you're in the rear profile, set the rear legs. If you're on the side profile, try to set the 2 legs closest to the judge first. As I come around the front, my personal prep, I like to always stay on the left side of the sheep as much as possible. I don't really like kids flipping around from side to side. Just stay on the left side, kind of get back so I can see the sheep. And then as I walk by, once I get about 2 sheep down the line, go ahead and get back on your brace. That's just my personal preference. I know a lot of people will tell you to switch sides. But, walking around the ring, always try to keep the sheep in between you and the judge. Head set up right, up out the shoulders, and nose straight, top line straight. These 4 individuals out here today, on the top 2, we got 2 really good showmen. Today, I'm going to use the young lady on my right. I think she just does the best job of getting that lamb in the brace as quickly as possible. Always, have the legs set. The neck is right. The young lady in second, I think, is also an excellent showman. This sheep just isn't working for her today. That ain't no what matters any. When she gets him stuck, he looks really good. It's hard when they're fighting him. Sometimes close is good enough. As long as the legs are not really janked up and they're somewhere close to where they need to be, just go ahead and get the brace on. I do appreciate the way this young lady, when I'm fighting on her, like now she's down underneath the lamb. I'm a purebred guy. That's the way I was taught to show, and I still do. If I got a leather that's fighting me, a lot of times they look better if you just get down underneath them rather than fighting trying to get a brace on them. The young lady in third, also a really good showman. She just doesn't get the legs quite set just the way I want them. She tends to get them just a little bit overextended, which kind of drops them in the back. And the young man in fourth with that yearly he does a good job of getting the legs set. I just like to see him get that head up a little straighter, the nose kind of positioned a little bit better, and the legs get off just a little bit. Let's give these kids a round of applause.
Judge placed him Courtney Decker first, Peyton Decker second, Morgan Groders third. Now they're going to bring in the intermediate show person. This class exhibitors are Will Stout, Kate Dow, Yeah, the third exhibitor is Olivia Lopez. And these kids are in 7th, 8th, or 9th grade to be an intermediate 4-H'er.
We got three good showmen out here for the intermediates. Young lady first does a good job keeping that lamp set up, keeps the brakes on her. Every once in a while has a tendency to get that neck just forward a little bit or to kind of the head cranked around, but all in all, very, very good showman. Young lady second, we talked a little bit about, that lamp has a tendency to get a little sway back. Different ways to set the
judge places class Kate Dow, Olivia Lopez,
Our champion intermediate
and then
is Kate Dow.
Will Stout.
Reserve champion Olivia Lopez, and third place Will Stout.
This is the second year we do mostly banners now for awards instead of trophies or plaques. And the champion showman in each age division will get a banner you see him passing out, provided by the Farmers Co-op Elevator of Hartley and other sites. We appreciate their support. These are the junior show people. These are kids in 4th, 5th, or 6th grade.
And this is our junior showmanship class. Exhibitors are Emily Lopez, Aubrey Dodge, and Carly Voss. And after this class, there will be overall sheep showman.
Okay, these exhibitors, if you overheard, are Aubrey Dow, Carly Voss, and Emily Lopez.
is pretty basic, I guess. I asked if they worm their lambs. One said no, the other two said they weren't sure. That's, something probably you should think about anyway, especially if you're having game rounds or whatever. Shot a wormer isn't a bad idea. I was going to ask them what kind they used if they had said yes, I worm my lambs. The valve is in manicure, safeguard, whatever, is probably what I would have been looking for. Then I asked them if they trim their feet. I was going to reach down and pick them up and look at them, but that's probably, as a show lamb, that's probably the most important thing you can do is trim their feet. I think that is, it costs $0, and I think you can change a sheep or a calf, 100% in just trimming the feet. I'm going to go ahead and use the young lady on my ring for first. To me, she's just the most calm and collected. She does the best job of keeping the feet and legs in place. She pays attention. She keeps good eye contact with me. The young lady in second, also a really good showman. She just gets a little slow getting things set up. Maybe gets not quite as attentive to what's going on around the ring. I just think maybe you'd like to change the way she holds the head. Maybe keep that head up a little bit better. The young lady in third with the big weather. She's trying really hard and she does a good job keeping the legs set. I just like to change the way she holds the head and have her set those legs a little more efficiently.
Okay, so we're going to keep the two champions of these three age brackets here for overall champion award. This year they'll go on to the Super Showmanship champion, but the main purpose of this is we had a long-time sheep superintendent that died unexpectedly and early in life. So the family has put out a traveling trophy 10 years at a time since then. We were on to about our third or fourth plaque now. He was Keith Rush. His widow still lives in the area, and all his kids went through 4-H, and his stepson, but now, or his, not stepson, but his
champion overall showman. In my mind, it's a pretty easy decision here. There's one individual that stands out, both in her class and out here for overall. I think this young lady showed a few times, and she just always has that lamb set and presented the way she wants. I'm going to go ahead and shake the other champion, so overall showman.
There's two of Lynette's daughters that are presenting a plaque to them in memory of their dad, Keith Rush. Now we're ready to begin the commercial, the breeding stock part of our show. First of all, we have Blackface commercial ewes. There's 6 of them in that class. Next year is our Century program for the county fair. So I'll talk more about that. But right now, I'm sitting in this nice, comfortable show ring. We bought a big fan to put in the middle of it this year, and it really moves air and quietly. Small ones we had before didn't, and so this is really helping the livestock and it's helping the people. And we're going to do a few more improvements to this show ring before next year's fair. In the river, right to left is Courtney Decker, Kate Voss, Hunter Van Scapen, Emily Lopez,
And this is our blackface commercial U class. Exhibitors are Courtney Decker, Emily Lopez, Olivia Lopez has 2 entries, Lang and Carly Voss.
okay, and coming into the ring now are Emily Lopez with her 2 exhibits. One of them showed by someone else, of course. Substitute showman, people have to be the right age and be a 4-H or FFA member in Bryan County. So we don't allow anybody into college to show here, even as a substitute. And they have to be a member of a club or FFA chapter in Bryan County. Most of these lambs, according to what they sent in, are mid-January to mid-February of being born. I'm kind of a big history buff, so maybe while the judging is going on and there's no noise, I'll tell you a little bit about my history of my memories of 4-H. I graduated in '68 from high school, and I was a 4-H member here all my youth like that. Back in those days, our county fair was 4 days, and it was the middle of August. Of course, depending on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, depending on the year, but it was the middle of August. And we had a sale on Thursday evening, and then we hope people would come back on Friday to clean up. And then the next year, I think after I got out, they changed the dates to late July, like it is now. So it's been 45 years, basically, of the time we're right now. I've got a lot of old fair books at home, and according to them, 1993 was the first year that we had stuff on Saturday and Sunday. We started going to the non-livestock judging on Saturday, which made it easier because you easier to get judges and easier for the kids to spread things out. Otherwise, you're doing non-livestock and livestock stuff on the same day. And then 2000 was the first year that we actually listed our fair as officially as 6 days. So we're going on to 25 years of, or getting on to about 30 years of actually having a 6-day fair. And it seems like it's busy enough. We keep adding activities, and some for the kids and some for other people. And I looked up in old fair books, and in 86 and 87 we had 86 we had a evening sale, and 87 and 88 we had an afternoon sale, and 1989 we moved things to Thursday morning. So for about 25 years now we've had a Thursday morning sale, and we get a lot of good support from our county businesses and individuals, and
we got some different types and kinds out here in this Black Face Elam class. I'm going to go ahead and use what I feel is the most complete sheep out here. She's got a big rear, she's got a big loin. I'd maybe like to give her just a little more spring and rib, maybe drop her in that flank just a bit. That's being critical of a pretty good one. She's got a big foot under her, she's got plenty of bone, she's nicely presented. Really good UM to go ahead and start your class. This UM out here in second, also a good individual. I think she's got a lot of good things about her. I like her front end. I like her foot size. I like her bone. I like her muscle mass. She's just getting a little over mature for me today. I'd like to take about 10 pounds off of her, maybe slim her up a little bit so I can evaluate her better. I like her springer rep. I like her depth of the body. She's just hard to analyze with that much fat on her. I would like to change her. I like her chest floor. I would like to change her neck set, and I like the way she changes. Ties in from her shoulders to her loin. This UM out here in third, I can really appreciate this UM for her rack shape, her loin shape, her hip. She just kind of gets out horse here clean. There's a lot of good things about this sheep. I would like to change her neck set. She's good through her chest floor. She's got a big foot under her. She walks out really well. The UM in fourth, she's just a little bit like muscle to move up any higher in the class today. She's a good profiling sheep. She gets a little heavy chest, and I'd like to change her neck set. But again, UM to go ahead and stand in fourth. It's pretty good. Between fifth and sixth, I'm going to use a heavier muscle sheep for fifth. To me, she's got just a little bit more bone under her. She walks out a little better. Thank you, gets also a good individual. She just gets a little tight in her house, and I'd like to make her move out just a little bit smoother.
first place in that class went to Courtney Decker. Second place went to Hunter Van Scapen. We have one speckled face commercial ewe. This is for animals that are some gray on their face or something. It's crossbred usually. Black face are black and white face came white, and these ones with speckled face are.
This is the same entry in this speckled face ewe lamb class. We got a North Suffolk appearing sheep with just a few speckles on it. Really good ewe lamb for what she is. I think she's going to make a good commercial ewe. The fact that she can get this ewe, I'd like to give her a little more room. She walks off good. Her feet and legs are adequate. She's thick down the top. She's got a big old hip in her. I think she's going to make a nice ewe for this young lady.
And our first place speckled face commercial ewe, Aubrey Dodge.
The white face class is next. There's
White face
half a dozen white face breeds that I don't know what these are. It could be crossbreds, but anyway, this is a battle of siblings.
After this class, there will be champion.
Abby Stout, a graduated senior, and Will Stout is a freshman, or was a freshman. So they have two born in late February, early March. They're a little smaller, but they're younger than a lot of the lambs we've just seen. Okay, that one is won by Will Stout. Second place to Abby Stout. Now we're bringing the three winners of that class to pick the overall commercial ewe.
We will now have the champion commercial ewe. Exhibitors on the black face commercial ewe class, Courtney Decker. Face commercial ewe, Aubrey Dodge. And the white face commercial ewe, Will Stout, Andy Stout.
Okay, left to right. Right now is the crossbred ewe lamb, the black-faced ewe lamb, and the white-faced ewe lamb. And the second row out are the second-place lambs in those classes. There was no second-place crossbred white speckled face, so that's why there's two in the second row.
sheep that's going to have a long life, raise a lot of sheep, and put some money in the bank. But in the end, it is a show, and I'm going to go ahead and pick our champion and reserve breeding ewe. These will be the sheep that represent O'Brien County at the Bible competitions.
Overall champion commercial ewe went to Courtney Decker. Reserve champion
Overall champion commercial ewe
to Hunter Van Scapen.
goes to
These are both the black-faced lambs. I do this because I play football too. So I looked in some websites at the fair and looked in my mother's diary. And back in the 50s, Iowa State Fair got done before Labor Day. And then about 1965, and while I was in high school, it was a little earlier, like from the 16th to the 30th, depending on the year. And then they kept moving it up into the early 70s, but it was still a little later. But then about 1980, and since then, they moved it up to about when it is now. It starts, it gets done. It gets done in state Iowa no later than the 22nd of August. So school can start on the 23rd of August, but not before. So you could have our fair when we did in those days back in mid-August and still go to the Iowa State Fair about the next week. But now everything's moved up because high school have football camps and volleyball camps and band camps early August, and these kids are, if you're in those kind of activities, about August, you're done with your summer. This is a class of yearling ewes we started a few years ago. These lambs were shown here last year as ewe lambs. They went home, got bred, had lambs this winter, and now they're coming back as a yearling ewe. Exhibitors here are Aubrey Dodge, Bryce Dodge, and Will Stout. So these are...
Three yearling ewes out here, but I think they're all good productive sheep. I'm going to go ahead and use the biggest framed ewe that moves out on a good set of feet and legs. I like the way she travels around the ring. The ewe in second. To me, she just gets a little bit smaller in the makeup. I just like to make her taller, a little longer from end to end. I like to see her move out just a little bit freer on that rear too. We got a good Molly Bay here, you here in third. She just gives out the overall scale and muscle mass of the two above her.
That class was won by Aubrey Dodge, second place by Bryce Dodge, third place by Will Stout.
And your first place here in the ewe goes to Aubrey Dodge, second place Bryce Dodge, and third place Will Stout.
Our next class is a bottle lamb class. These, for one reason or another, either the mother dies or there's too many lambs or something else. If people need to raise bottle lambs, so this is a class. So right to left on your screen is Ella Bleeker and then Aubrey Dodge. Of course, I raise enough sheep to know that if you get a bottle lamb there, become so super friendly waiting for your milk that you can't hardly believe it. But of course, this has been a few weeks since they start feeding milk, so they get a little wilder, less friendly as they go. Usually, if you feed bottle lambs, you got to do it probably 3 times a day. There's a special lamb milk replacer you mix up and Some people, warm it up a little bit if you're just going to feed the bottle or a jug at a time. But if they feed it cold, they can feed it kind of full choice, full feed on a different kind of a feeder, and they won't overeat it because it's cold milk. First place in that class went to Aubrey Dodge. Second place to Ella Bleeker. Coming up now are feeder lambs. This class we started, we used to have no weight bracket, although we had a weight bracket to sell lambs. So we had a lot of lightweight lambs, and we decided they really aren't market lambs. They're technically feeder lambs. So now some enter as feeder lambs, some we transfer over if they don't make 115 pounds on the weigh yesterday. So then they become feeder lambs. So this class is open to Aubrey Dodge with 2 head and Kate Dow with 1 head. So these lambs weigh 97 to 104 pounds. They'll probably need another month of feeding to be market ready. Or if they're ewe lambs, they could take them home and looks like one of them is a feeder lamb, or a ewe lamb. It could be a herd prospect. No, I take that back. None of them are ewe lambs. So they'll have to market them.
market lambs. They give them their own class called feeder lambs. We got a half appearing lamb here to start off the class. There's a lot of things I like about this sheep. I can pick them apart pretty easily, though. I appreciate the group down his top. He's got a big old rack in him. He gets a little raw through his loin. I think that'll probably fill out as he gets older. I don't think it's always ever going to completely fix it. He gets a little, he's really wide in his pin set, which I like, but I think that attributes to the fact that it just gets a little rough between his loin and his tail. I'd like to square him out up over that. I'd like to change his chest fork, tuck him up a little bit between the front two legs. Maybe set that, change the shoulder angle ever so slightly to get that neck to come up a little straighter on the shoulders. We got two commercial use or weathers here in second and third. They're real similar in their type and kind. I'm just going to go ahead and use the speckled face weather for second. He's just more structurally correct. I like the way he walks. He's got a little more overall product. And the weather in third. I just like to fix him on his feet and legs, maybe put a little more overall muscle.
First place in that class went to Kate Dow, second, third to Aubrey Dow. Now we're starting our market individual class. These lambs have to weigh 115 pounds or more to become a eligible market lamb. Kind of a unique show this year because we have 4 classes of 3 lambs each. We usually have bigger lamb classes than that, but just the way the weights broke, we hated to break a pound or 2 on a class, and yet you hate to put too much difference in the size in a class. So these lambs weigh 115 to 123. This class is Peyton Decker, Courtney Decker, and Carly Voss.
There's a lot of give and take here in these top 2 lambs. I'm going to go ahead and use the blue sheet to start the class here today. I really like this dip. I like this top. He's thick down the long, or he's wide down his line. He's good in his chest floor. He's got a big old foot underneath him. To me, he's maybe just a tick tall for today's standards. I kind of like sheep like that, so I'm not going to hold it against him. I would like to maybe drop him down in the flank a little bit. Maybe change the way he moves. He reaches ever so slightly with that one front foot, which I think it's just maybe his attitude today. But he stands a little narrow base. I'd like to fix that about him. We got a lamb here in second. Maybe it looks like he had a little prolapse problem somewhere along the line. Mark Lamb, I guess I'm not really going to hold that against her. But to me, she drops just a tick in her chest floor. that keeps the weight loss out of his red baskets.
Class 1 champion Market Land individual goes to Courtney Decker. Class 1 reserve goes to Peyton Decker. Now we'll have Class 2 Market Land individuals. Weights ranging in this class from 126 to 128 pounds. In this class, Bryce Dodge, Morgan Brothers, and Courtney Decker.
First place in Class 1 was Courtney Decker. Second place, Peyton Decker. Third place, Carly Voss. Now, this entering the show ring right now are the Class 2, which will weigh 126 to 128. Real evenly grouped of lambs. I'm kind of a history buff. If you have time in your hands, you go to Iowa 4-H Foundation and go through Iowa 4-H history by county, and you come up with, especially Bryan County, and you'll get about 100-year history of 4-H in Bryan County. I'm old, but I'm not that old, so I don't remember all that, but I'll read little bits of this off and on between the shows, and if you have any memories of all this, it says, they had separate girls' clubs, separate boys' clubs. The girls' clubs changed with a different emphasis each year, from bread, clothing, home furnishings, and nutrition. Furnishing, and were some of the project areas the girls worked at during the 30s even. And I can even remember later than that, probably in the 60s, they had area of emphasis one particular year. I know the girls, we had a lot of girls in our club. They had to be a member of a boys' club in order to show livestock. So you think how things have changed for the good.
This class is Market Land's, it starts from south off pretty easily here. We got a pretty easy winner in this class. He's got a lot of product in him. He's got a big old hip in him. He's got a big old foot under him. I like his chest floor. He ties it in right through his neck. It's pretty hard to pick him apart. We got to get nice little blue weather here in second. To me, she just gets a little low in his chest. A little bit too much set to his hock. I really appreciate this sheep for his thickness down his scalp. His lip for his loin. And then without the rope that means that real good blue sheep to go ahead and win the second. We got another one of these good commercial sheep here. And third, they're not product, adequately conditioned, just like to fix it structurally to put them up any higher.
Class 2 was won by Courtney Decker. Second place, Morgan Groders. Third place, Bryce Dodge. It says in the mid-30s, boys' clubs were organized to include a lot of livestock areas. The Big Four Club was in the southwest corner of Bryan County. We Can Do It in the southeast corner, and the northwest corner, northwest of Bryan in the northwest corner. The Happy Lads near Hartley came later. I remember the Happy Lads when I was in 4-H. It says in the early 40s, girls' clubs developed until there was a club in each township. I'll list off these names, see if any of you remember them. The Hartley Hustlers, Lincoln Highlighters, Omega We Go, Bonnie Bells of Baker, Clever Caledonians, Happy Union, Liberty Lassies, Sunny Centers, Franklin Winners, Floyd Sunshine, Carol Clover Maids, Summit Over the Top, Grant Gleaners, Hardy Highlanders, Cloverdale 4-H, and Waterman Daughters of the Soil. I remember a couple of those names, but they're all gone now. And during the same time, the boys' clubs grew from 4 to 11 club. There was the Big Four, Happy Lads, Husky Lads, G&W Fears, which is still going, Union Pioneers, Future Leaders, Bearcats, Sunny Farmers, Cherry Farmers, Highland Go-Getters, and Clover Clippers. G&W is still going in this county after all this time.
We got another good Tampa Gary Mike we're going to start the class with. Really thick head, that kind of shape. He's good up through his chest. He's got a big old foot under him. I like the way he moves out for the most part. He gets a little tight on his rear legs as we walk him out. I think it's just the fact that when you get him that thick and they start to get a little muscle bound, really not a major concern. I just would like to make him smooth, move out just a little bit smoother. We got another good weather here in a second. He's maybe just a little bit over conditioned for his size. Lots of product, structurally direct. I'd like to see him have a little bit bigger body, a little more foot under him. But we got another good weather here in third. To me, she just doesn't have the overall thickness to compete with his.
That class was won by Peyton Decker, second place, Morgan Groders, third place, Ariel. The next class is heavyweight Market Lambs. Morgan Groders, Oriana Ebel, Aubrey Dodge. Aubrey's Dodge lamb was the grand champion rated gain lamb at 1.14 pounds a day during the 78 days of our feeding program, so that's pretty impressive. These lambs weigh 157, 161, 161, so these are really a little too big for the market, what they want right now, but when you get a 4-H lamb, unless you get them too big, you hate to hold them back.
Move into this heavyweight, I can appreciate these three sheep for the fact that for their size, they're really not overly conditioned. They're carrying enough, but they're not fat by any means. We got a plan. We're going to go ahead and start the class here with me. He's just the thickest made, most structurally correct lamb out here. I would like to maybe change him off that box set ever so slightly in a minute or two. But overall, real good, complete, thick made kind of sheep to start the class with. But the weather in a second, he just doesn't have quite as much overall thickness as the lamb we're going to go ahead and start the class out with. Lamb in third, a lot of product, adequately finished, walks off good, nice commercial sheep there.
That class was Morgan Groders, Adriana Ebel, Aubrey Dodge. A lot of shows have what they call whiteface influence lambs. Whiteface, for the most part, can't compete with the black-faced lambs. We used to not do this, but this gives the kids a chance to show against similar lambs and maybe get a first or second place. And then we'll put them in with the blackface to see how the show goes. But generally speaking, in the sheep industry, the whiteface ones are the commercial ewes of the world, Rambouillets and Polypays, etc. And then they'll use blackface maybe for the sire end and get crossbred lambs. But as we all know, the 4-H show business, FFA show business, is not necessarily the real world of sheep. So these both lambs are owned by Will Stout, and you got a helper to show the other one.
We got two more of these Polypay cross sheep on the whiteface division. I'm going to go ahead and use the lamp on my ring to win the class. Maybe just a deeper body, get more heavily muscle sheep. There's a lot of give and take between these two. But I'm just going to go ahead and use the deeper body, get more heavily muscle sheep to win the class. The lamb is second. I appreciate this sheep for his length of body. His bigness of foot, his bone size. I think this lamb just needs a few more days on feed.
And first place goes to Will Stout, and second place goes to Will Stout.
Now we bring in the 5 class champions and the 5 second place lambs to depict the overall grand champion, which will end our sheep show for this year. So hopefully they'll get them lined up in the right order to make everybody understandable. The front row appears to be the 5 class champions, and the back row is the second place lambs. A little bit of interesting local history. In 1949, the town of Hartley purchased a 10-acre tract of land south of the railroad tracks for the purpose of developing it into the home for the Bryan County 4-H Fair. But by 2 years later, it was decided to move the fair to Primgar. It had been held in Hartley for about 10 years, but it was the center of the county, of course, and it's all the rural people to have it in Primgar, and it's been here now for about 70 years. So City of Primgar said purchase the land, did the grading, put in some gravel roads, 5 years, and we've continued to lease the land from them. And for now, has given us about $10,000 to each fair, regardless. Like Cherokee has the Cherokee County Fair and the Marcus Fair, but they both get the money. There's other regional fairs, of course, the State Fair. And you have to use this money for improvements to your physical property. You cannot use it for entertainment or machinery like this. Just something that's. So we've used that money over the years to build buildings and pour concrete, and it's really been a benefit to us. So it costs the state about $1 million a year, which even in the state funding is kind of small money. But it's really helpful to the county fairs around the state to have some money. He's going to pick the champion now.
As we're getting down here towards the end of the show, I always like to talk just a minute. I think it's one of the best things that a young person can do. It teaches you responsibility. The biggest thing is that the friends and the acquaintances that you make along the line. There's nothing else that a young person can do where you're going to make friends and know people throughout the country like showing livestock.
champion Market Lamb was Peyton Decker of Class 3, the reserve champion Corton of Class 2. This ends our sheep show. Next on the line will be following this afternoon a large bottle lamb grouping, especially of what they call discovering 4-H kids, which are kids in kindergarten, first, second, or third. And the extension goes around to the area schools and puts on programs, and these kids can have lambs or calves, or I think rabbits maybe, some horticulture. It's really a chance to get them involved in 4-H. When my kids were in 4-H, you could start 4-H in third grade, and that's where the enthusiasm is. And then at some point, a few years later, they eliminated third graders from 4-H. But then they didn't listen to me. Stay in 4-H. Cutest things of the day to watch these little kids. They're kindergarten, first, second, third graders, and they're little lambs. Of course, we let them have halters at this age. And they're bottle lambs that they raised this winter, and so they're different ages, different sizes, and